Sippers, welcome to the Friday episode of the Tea With Me podcast with me, Shane Todd. Before we get into it, I'm going to plug two things really quickly. One is the Patreon, patreon.com/teawithmepodcast, where you can check out all the bonus episodes that we do every Monday, me and producer Dan. And also there's just a load of other stuff on there, like my whole waterfront special from last year, 2019 show, The Todd Father. The link is up there in its entirety, so you can enjoy that, and also the merch news and stuff will go on there before it goes anywhere else. If you're thinking about joining the Patreon, you know somebody else that's on it. Ask them if they think it's good value, and they will 1,000% say yes, or I will smack their bums. Okay. Also, my tour is all on sale, theshanetodd.com and shine.net. All the dates and tickets are there, and we're still rescheduling some. So for the 19 people that have said, "What about Limavady, mate?" It's happening. Don't worry about it. But I think the staff are still on furlough, and that's just the way it is, in the immortal words of Tupac Shakur. Let me welcome my guest for today, Monsieur Aaron Butler. Here he is. I've brought him out of the waiting room. I brought him in from the cold.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to
They're
make
obviously
a
fake.
difference.
They're fake. At PSNI.
Oh, flip. Sorry, we live?
Yeah,
my God.
I know for a fact those came from the Northern Bank robbery. There's no.
I hate when this happens. Sorry, 1,002. It's all there. It's all there. It's good. Good. Hello, Slurpers. How's it going?
No,
good to be
it's
in
sippers,
the
and don't come in
podcast.
like that. Because a couple of things. Number one, why do you have fake American banknotes? You were counting money there. That's fake. That's not real.
No, they're. Let me check. No, they're all real. Who's on it? Let me have a see. He's on it. What was he in?
Hey man, no,
I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be a former president. That's
Is that not Churchill?
No, that's the dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Is that Dave Elliott from the future?
Future?
Past?
Oh, we can joke about it because he's not here and he will never listen to this. Although I guarantee you some snitches do send him that audio by itself, and then he'll text you and go, "Why did you say that?"
Yeah, there's a lot of snitches in your podcast, I've learned recently.
Well, that's what we've got to get into, honey. I'm really glad that you brought this up, because you were definitely accused of something that you vehemently, is that the word? Vehemently? You passionately denied, to the point where I think you were, in your own words, you were seeking legal counsel. People said that you say the word now, which, and everyone in Northern Ireland says weird, because people in England say now, and people in America say now, but we say now. So we already say it weird, but you say it weirder because people said that you said nah, as in now we're getting to the reason. You denied this to the point where genuinely you nearly cried on the last podcast. And I did think you said that, and then you were so passionate about it. I was like, flip, maybe that's in my head. Maybe he doesn't say it like that. And then as soon as our Streamville Farm video came out of us doing stand-up up in Streamville, 7 people messaged me and went, listen to the word. No, you see, you're counting money, right? But that's obviously, you've got $100 for every time you said nah, and you're a millionaire. Because you say nah. And now do you know that you do it?
Shane, I think this is an important time for us all to take responsibility for our actions in the past, present, and future as comedians. You know, there's been a lot of accountability happening recently, and I'm no excuse to that either. You know, I have to face the consequences too. Look, I lied. I told barefaced lies on the Shane podcast about how I pronounce the word now. I say now.
So
okay.
So genuinely, right? Was that just like a sort of school playground spoof where do you know that you say nah, but did you think if you just said you didn't, me and everyone else would just go, all right, he mustn't do that? Or is there a bigger problem here, do you think?
No, I think I just wanted to tell a lie.
Right. Yeah.
Do you ever get that?
You busy in lockdown, yeah?
Oh, flat out. No, I think you come on real hot with the phone call, and I thought, you know what? I'll just deny it because who cares? And look, I got scooped, and at the end of the day, I can laugh at it now. Okay, and look, I said it again.
Yeah.
Right? Big deal. Okay.
Do you know what
it is?
Do you know what that's the equivalent of? The way you denied it, and then now you just used it when you were denying it. That's like O.J. Simpson in the doc denying that he murdered his wife, and then murdering someone when he's telling people that he's not a murderer.
Oh yeah, that's me being with OJ trying to put the glove on, being like, it it doesn't fit, they're like, just go a wee bit more. And he's like, I can't.
It was the worst offense of all time, and he got away with it because he's like, they're like, if the glove doesn't fit, you have to quit. And it's like, OJ, just keep pushing it down. It's gonna go on. And he's like, no.
He's like waiting in his hand. He's doing this. He's like, it's not.
Imagine if that's what it came down to. You were up for a murder charge, and you were like, all I need to do to get away with it is not put this glove in my hand. You'd be like, Alex, this isn't going. This isn't going.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what it is. But look, we can all laugh and joke about it now, and it's all good. Thanks for calling me out, guys. Internet, you fucking.
Now we're getting to the reason. I mean, I like that is something that is going to dog you for your whole career. People be like, it's just the way he says nah. I mean, it's enjoyable. I mean, I feel like we do say now weird in this part of the world, and I think you're just mixing it up a bit, and each to their own, different strokes for different folks. The world don't move to the beat of just one drum, but just start saying it right from now on, because it is weird that you say nah. No,
I'm too set in my ways. Now I'm 31. I'm not changing anything. Yeah, look, I'm going to keep doing it. Hey, say murder, dickhead, all right? There's a lot of shit that Northern Ireland don't say right, but we say it anyway. That's what their lovable charm is, all right? Just fucking get on with it. Just share
another one.
Yes.
People mispronouncing that anyway. Imagine if you genuinely were someone who got like fucking really upset and aggressive whenever someone said either Derry or Londonderry. Like, genuinely imagine if that was you as a person.
Well, there are people's lives who that is.
I know, I'm one of them.
That's yeah, and it's about time we had to talk about it. But yeah, it's
the guy who does, like, the way whenever, say we're driving up to Derry or whatever you want to call it, say we're driving up there for a show, and you're going through Coleraine and stuff, the London is always like grayed out. Someone spray paints it out of the street sign. And like, I guarantee you the guy who does that maybe started doing it when he was like 12, but now he's like 57 with grandkids. And they're like, Granda, what are you up to tonight? Can you take us swimming? And he's like, nah, I got to hit these signs.
He's got arthritis. He can't even get up the ladder to do it now. It's actually an inconvenience for him. He's like, for fuck's sake. Every time he sees a new sign, oh no.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just that there's something in that whenever you pass signs like that and people have exited out, you go, oh, that's just a wee bit of us. You know what I mean? Like, that level of it I'm okay with. It's just whenever you get into the more sly territory of, like straight up murder and all that kind of thing, where it's like, no, cut that out. That needs to be nah.
Yeah. You like harmless crimes is what you're trying to say.
100%. I mean, whenever you, like, when I say harmless, the maximum I'm okay with was like the Northern Bank robbery we were talking about. 25 million.
Yeah.
Voice. At the end of the day, their only crime was being cheeky, really, when you think about it.
Just being wee chancers. That's all it was.
Do you remember the joke went around at the time, like as soon as that happened? Because let's just remember, some guys just walked into the Northern Bank in Belfast, stroked 25 million and never got caught. And I remember there was a joke that went about via text message, like the days after it, where it was like, Donegal Celtic have just put in a £25 million bid for David Beckham. I mean, at the time, that was 10 out of 10 funny. Like,
oh yeah, there's stuff from back then that like today wouldn't be as funny, but back then it was just gold. Yeah. Like a lot of jokes and material.
You got a conservatory just after that happened, didn't you?
We got it. I don't know when the timeline was. I don't know what the date was exactly. All I'll say is it's pretty big, right?
You're definitely a guy, right? That if you were involved in a £25 million bank heist and everybody got like 5 years, got 5 million, and then they were like, here, don't flaunt this, like, don't spend your money for years, like, be really sensible about it. The next day, you would buy a Lamborghini Gallardo. I've mugged myself off there because it's not called Lamborghini Gallardo.
I show up with this in my hand. All right, boys. What?
Yeah, because at this level that we're at, you buy expensive collectible Power Rangers masks. If you got 5 million, I genuinely think, and I don't mean this in a weird way, you would get your dick replaced with some sort of like robotic thing. I think 1000% you would do that.
Robo Dick? Is that like a new movie? What would it do?
It's a sequel to RoboCop. RoboCop comes back, but he's just an absolute dick this time.
But he's a wee bit camp. He's like, dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Yeah, CUM.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we've made progress on that. I mean, Nah, the whole nigh thing, let's put it to bed. That's just the way you say it. That's the way you are. You collect Power Ranger stuff under that hoodie, you're wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt. That's the way it is, really. Take you or leave you. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're a great original guy, and I think you very much do your own thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, original, autistic, it's all the same, really, when you break it all down. And yeah, just to do my own thing. I'm 31, still live with my mum and dad, and it's great, you know. It's really just all good.
Do you know what the sad thing about being like you're 31 and 32 is? Like, if we get to double this age, you're doing okay. Like,
When we're good, we'll get
you
there.
think so?
Yeah, I think the two. Here's the thing: before you get into it, the safest bet you could place out of all the comedians in Northern Ireland on what two guys are going to make it to their 60s, right? It's this podcast, right?
Here's my worry about you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get enough sunlight. I don't think you get enough sunlight.
Oh no, I was out for a walk today.
Yeah, but just up and down your stairs. I just don't think you get enough vitamin D. I don't know what it is, but I think like you got the blackout blind there or whatever. I don't see you getting enough light, and that's something I'd like to see more from you.
Hey man, hold on.
What's this? Sorry, just for the audio listeners, he's reaching somewhere to shelf. He's on the vitamin D capsules. There you go. Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
All day, every day.
You should be taking them all day, every day. No, well, I think you just take one per day.
4? Do you take 4?
Do you think you can overdose in vitamin D tablets and just get a sweet tan?
I'm not too sure. Did someone say YouTube video? We'll do a little experiment. That's our next one. What would like? I haven't looked into this, but what would happen if you were to just eat this entire tub of vitamin D's?
I don't know, man, but either way, it would make a good clip for my podcast.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
You're the sort of guy that would definitely overdose on Super Ted vitamins.
Yeah, laced with Kelpol, for sure. Super Devin. You may notice, by the way, I'm not in my usual podcast setting, and I'm very upset about it.
Why? What's up? By the way, you say podcast setting, you mean your bedroom, but you are actually in your bedroom. So what has happened? Have you had to sublet your bedroom to somebody else?
No, usually we go down to the little bar cabin that we have out our back garden, and I set this stuff up there. Problem is, my dad has decided the grass needs cut right now. And so if I was to do it out there, the audio would be, which is why I don't have any virtual backgrounds today, and it's very upsetting to me.
Do you want to hear a real speaking of virtual backgrounds, don't worry, bro, because I got you covered.
Eiffel 65 in the house.
I got it sorted.
Perfect.
Taking care of business with the virtual background. I figured out how to do it now. So
yeah, I know you're nailing
it. So it's all good. But speaking of grass, oh yeah, that's good.
Is that the Shane Todd? The Shane Todd School of Video? Let's get that off.
Speaking of grass, I take myself down to Homebase today.
Okay.
I go in, I buy, my grass needs cut. I buy myself a lawnmower. I buy myself a strimmer and a couple other things because I just want some new kit.
Right.
I get home to find out that Green Thumb have sprayed my garden, so that means that I can't cut my grass for 3 or 4 days.
That's upsetting. When you say, did you not have a lawnmower or a strimmer before?
I had a lawnmower before, but here's the thing: I lawnmower aggressively. Like I go off road, and and one of the wee wheels is higher than the other one, so it doesn't give a nice even cut. And I'm just fucked off basically. So I went and bought myself a new lawnmower and strimmer. I know this is good podcast content, but I can't use it. So it's a bit like, getting a new bicycle and being told like, no, it's raining, you're not allowed to take it out for a couple of days, and that's upsetting.
Well, look, it's your Patreon money. You can spend it however you like. And if you want to buy new lawnmowers and new strimmers, I'm sure the audience are very invested in that too. So it's fine. Yeah.
Have you been out in any adventures recently, man? Like, what have you been up to? I haven't really been chatting to you in the last couple of days too much. But, like, I think you're one of the guys that's left the house least since lockdown started. So have you been out anywhere in the last couple of days?
No.
Yeah. Do you think you're regressing socially?
No, I wouldn't think so. I mean, maybe, look, at the end of the day, can we trust anything I say at the minute? Because I obviously have a terrible lying. I have a terrible lying problem, which we've established. So I'm out every day. I'm licking everybody, cough all over the shop. I don't wear any masks. No, I Where have I been? I've been like I go on a daily walk, which is standard, like that's flipping whatever, and then maybe once or twice a week I'll try to catch up with the odd friend here and there that I can, like the other, like yourself, my friend Ryan, all the rest of it. He came over to my house the other day and we played video games because we're both in our 30s.
Do you, on your daily walk, have you like done what I have, which is built up a rapport and got a few nods with anyone? Like, do you do the same route and you see people outside their house and you every day you're like, oh, there they are again, sort of thing?
Like I do all my walks up here in the West Belfast area. So if you're around here, keep an eye out for me. I'm very easy to spot. I will always have these headphones on
Yeah,
with
yeah,
music,
yeah.
music,
Well,
and I'll
sometimes with nothing plugged into them, you would do that quite a lot, wouldn't you?
yeah. Sometimes I just don't like to hear street ambience, so I'll just put these on, so that blocks all that out. And then I'll have sunglasses on. And what I've noticed is that if I wear headphones and sunglasses, I immediately look like the biggest pervert in West Belfast. But if I just wear one of them, so if I just wear the headphones, I'm good.
Glove
Like
fits.
I'm approachable, I'm fine. But yeah, if the glove fits. Yeah, if I wear, and hey, in the words of O.J. Simpson, it doesn't. And and then if I just wear sunglasses on their own, I'm absolutely fine. But when I combine both together,
Yeah.
no one wants to look at me, approach me. And then, do you ever notice this, right? Do you ever be wearing sunglasses out in public on like a walk and people don't know that you can see them looking at you because they think, oh, his eye line isn't looking at me. So then they proceed to look at you a little bit too long and it gets very weird.
Yeah, one thing I will definitely notice is if I have sunglasses on, I feel like I can look anywhere and not have to worry about it. Like, say, a guy's wearing like some sort of weird outfit, whatever. Like, I can definitely stare at him. And
Yeah.
the thing is, though, I realize I turn my head at the same time, so it's not as subtle. You know what I mean? If you're like someone's like right beside you, and what you should do is just a little look off the side. But if you turn your full head, people know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, it's good that we're teaching everyone how to be really good like spies. Would that be sort of the thing? We're teaching them to do like good detective work. Would that be?
See, I don't think I would be a good spy because I don't know. Like, I don't like being. I like being like. I like making people laugh. I like performing. So I think if
Mm-hmm.
I was a spy and there was an opportunity for a laugh, I would take it.
Yeah, you'd give away like locations. You'd like probably try to be doing all sorts of silent missions, and you'd be like, "Here, lads, look at this," and like you'd be just getting them all that sort of thing.
You and me would be two of the easiest guys turned in interrogation.
Oh yeah,
1000%.
especially me. I lie for the fun of it, so
Yeah.
just you don't need to tell me twice. I'll Butler the squealer here.
One thing I thought we would do, which could be nice and the listeners might enjoy, is we should go through some old stand-up material. I texted you just
Yeah,
before this and said I found my first ever stand-up book, which is
yeah.
genuinely this, from about 12, 13 years ago. I did my first ever gig based on this. Weirdly, everybody I went to tech with, I just put their phone numbers in the back of this book, and I've never noticed that until now. So
Oh
maybe
well, here you should just do a podcast where you call them all and see how they're doing.
see who has the same one.
Yeah, I might have. I've just remembered. Do I have this? Yes, so I have on my desktop here, although it'll just take me a minute to find it, all like a Word document of a bunch of old material.
Right.
So I have one folder called developing, so you can only guess that wasn't too great. And there's another folder called polished, which means this was the best stuff.
So I swear I didn't realize that I had other stuff in this that isn't just stand up, and I was trying to pitch documentaries to BBC
Oh,
13
I've that
years ago.
too. Oh,
So
I've that too.
I basically told them I could do a documentary series, and would you like to hear the subjects that I told them would be good?
Hit me.
I feel like after two, I run out of subjects. Number one, the NI music scene. So yeah, could be okay. Could be good.
And what was like was there any sort of spin on it, or did you just
Nah.
pitch headings to people?
Yeah. Number one, NI music scene. Number two, NI film scene. So you're thinking, yeah, this is maybe there's a theme here. This sounds like it could be good. Number three, the Irish border.
Your documentaries are just a list of things that come into your head one day.
No, man, I refute that. Number 4, Finn McCool. Number 5, the Grand Opera House. Number 6, local accents. Number 7, cuisine. And number 8, the Irish language. What a documentary series that could have been.
Did you ever go into a pitch meeting with these and have to sit down with someone and go like across the table and go, right, Shane, what have you got for us? And you went,
Yep.
oh no. You must have been the talk of the water cooler after you left the office that day.
I'd say they were like, I probably was like, I've got a pitch meeting. In reality, it was usually just me meeting like some sort of like, junior researcher in the canteen. And I'd be like, mate, what do you think? And he's looking at me like, yeah, I'm doing you a favor by being here, mate. You've 10 minutes, on his break, on a cigarette break or whatever. So I have more material in here than I thought. And you want to hear potentially the shittest bit of material that anyone's ever written?
I mean, you don't have my stuff in front of you, so I don't see how you could do that. But yeah, give me what you've got.
Sippers, let me very quickly interrupt the podcast because we have a sponsor. That's right, Checker Cups. What's that at the bottom? It's a sponsor, and we love that. And it's not just any sponsor. It's Murray's Painting and Decorating. Let me run that by you one more time. It's Murray's Painting and Decorating. These guys do all aspects of decor and interior design, interior decor and exterior decor work. Listen, I think it's safe to say from that, whenever it comes to decor, Murray's know what time it is. They're doing all the different decors. Also, they do private contract and commercial. So you know that Murray's, like the man boy Cheeky, like to get that money. Because they do private contract and commercial, and I don't think there's anything else apart from that. They do wallpaper hanging and stripping, hand-painted kitchens and furniture, and I think that says stripping, hand-painted kitchens, but I don't know if they also – I don't think Murray's do stripping, but, I mean, I think if it involves decor, they'll do it. If anyone mentions Tea With Me Podcast or says Sippers, then they get a 10% discount off their quote. Now, I should point out that is real because I've spent a long time on Instagram telling people, if you go into a shop and say the word, I don't know, bum bum, you get 10% off Mandarin oranges. That's always made up, but it's not made up that if you say Sippers or mention the Tea With Me Podcast, when you're speaking to Murray's, you get 10% off. And if you want to get involved, you call Owen on 077 010 16290 or check out Murray's Painting and Decorating page on Facebook. That's going to be in the description. What we're saying here is if you need work done, if you need painting and decorating work done and you're a sipper and you go anywhere else bar Murray's Painting and Decorating, then what I want you to do is take your cup and throw it against the wall because you're no longer a sipper. You speak to Murray's Painting and Decorating. They're on Facebook. We'll put Owen's number in the description. You call him up. You say, Owen, Tea With Me Podcast, or you just say, Owen, sipper, and you're already getting money off. So cheers to Murray's Painting and Decorating for sponsoring the podcast. As we call them, the decor dudes. Because interior, exterior, there's nothing else. They cover it all. Back to the pod. So I was going for some pretty edgy material 13 years ago. And I had one titled Peter Andre, a bit of material by Peter Andre.
Oh, relevant, yeah.
Here we go. Jordan and Peter have split up. This shows you just fucking how long ago this was. Peter must feel lifeless after having his heart pierced by a creature. Not the first time that's happened to an Australian TV personality. Why was I mugging off Steve Irwin like that? I'm facing it.
Yeah, it's not the Steve was a nice guy, like.
I get this is a real hack bit of material. I guarantee had been done a million times before this and a million times since. In musicals, why does nobody ever stop and say, "Fuck, we're really good at this. This is mental. We should totally get into the recording studio. Where's that music coming from?"
To be honest, that's actually pretty decent.
2021 show.
I like that.
So, listen to this. Do you want me to drop the C word?
Please, yeah.
I would never say that on stage unless I had a great bit of material that needed it to be said.
Right.
As a child, I despised the Milky Bar kid. The Milky Bars are on me. No, they're not. They're 39p, you specky cunt.
Oh, that's good.
Who was I back then? Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's funny.
So, I mean, I have reams and reams of stuff here. Oh,
I'm trying to look for some of
this is
mine.
terrible. Election posters. Do you think Giants use election posters as an alternative to Premier League stickers? Paisley got Adams need.
Those are not bad.
Dads love the some of these are just thoughts, by the way. Dads love two things: jokes on mobile phones and things that rattle a bit in cars.
It's pretty good observation.
Jesus, I mean, at the time, I think I was trying to be like edgy with my stand up. I thought like that's what I would like to do.
Oh man, I've just came across like a full page, like not even like a thought or a paragraph, right? A full page of material that I've written, and I can't remember writing it, but the heading just says Jerry Adams lap dance. It's a full page.
Give me some. Give me some.
So it starts by saying, I really think we should have lap dance clubs put up in Stormont because, let's face it, can you imagine Martin McGuinness getting a lap dance?
Hey, I feel like, maybe it wouldn't be ideal to do that material now.
Oh, believe me, this is very
Yeah.
problematic, and I will get totally cancelled for this, but let me see.
Just to clarify, when you were doing this, Martin McGuinness was in rude health.
Oh, yeah, he was absolutely fine. Yeah, this was way before that. So I can tell you the ending of this first paragraph, and then we can move on from it. But it says, can you imagine Martin McGuinness get a lap dance? The last thing on his mind is going to be, yeah, I like this lap dance, but she better not be Protestant. And that's the joke.
There's people on the local scene who pay good money for that. Good money for that. And I'm one of them. How much?
Let's get a gig booked. Imagine we booked a gig, but we could only do like the material that we've written that we've just found. That might be a good idea.
Oh, man.
Maybe do it like a live podcast or something.
Okay, I've got a bit of material, obviously, on the KFC colonel.
Oh, wow.
How serious was he taking his role? How serious was he taking his role in the army? These men are being slaughtered, and he just stands and mumbles, "It's like popcorn, but it's chicken." Material 13 years ago.
Oh wow, this is crazy.
Of course, like every edgy young comedian at the time, I had a bit of material about Stephen Hawking.
Oh wow, okay.
Apparently, he's taken very ill this week. You have to wonder, was there really a need to announce that? I mean, one thing I will say for old Stephen, he always could be described as looking under the weather.
Oh, so sly.
That was a shit. That was a shit. Oh no. Jeez. Let me see what else I've got here.
Oh, it's so tough reading some of this stuff. Like,
what's worse than finding half a worm in your apple?
Oh, this is a classic.
This was topical at the time. You ready?
Go ahead. Yeah.
What's worse than finding half a worm in your apple? Joseph Fritzl.
Like back then when that was all kicking off, that was pretty decent. The gym, that's stuff about the gym.
I'm just looking at old set lists.
I'm just reading. I'm reading stuff in my head, going, "Is that going to cause a problem?"
It's totally up to you. It's totally up to you to throw out here whatever you want.
No, that's fine. I'm still reading. I'm reading through some stuff that's fine or not fine.
Oh yeah, this was my favorite bit of material whenever I started off doing stand-up. By the way, I hope this is interesting to listeners. I think it will be, because we're just going back through 13-year-old material and seeing if it's still funny. And hey, a lot of it isn't.
Oh yeah.
So I had a bit about banning the IRA Facebook page. I remember like IRA Facebook page got set up, and I said there's a page on Facebook to ban an IRA. Yeah, there was a ban the IRA Facebook page. It's worth keeping just for the crack. Oh yeah, the first post on the IRA Facebook page, even though it was probably like just some randomer that set it up, but it was on this page, let's have no racism and no naughty words. And I said, no naughty words. Is this run by the campus guy in the IRA? It also says no stonewashed denim or beige colors. Okay, I made that bit up. I mean, I get what I was hinting at with that joke.
Yeah, you could see what you were trying to get to. It just wasn't funny.
No, but I think the way I delivered at the time about no stonewashed denim was nice. And I think I used to add to the end of that, it's not 1996 in a real bitchy way.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another hack bit of material. It's not cool to listen to Gary Glitter anymore. Do you want to be in my gang? Not really, Gary, mate.
I mean, yeah, that's not bad. My material's so bad it's made my computer freeze.
Nah, I had such terrible material here.
I had one-liners. Are you ready? Here's one. I shaved my arse the other day. It was good crack. Highbrow.
I mean, honestly, talking seriously here, if you just want to throw that in as a bit between bits, I would totally dismiss that. But you obviously would treat it like you don't think it's particularly good joke. But
yeah.
I can guarantee you that would get a little bit of a something.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh no, here's a fucking terrible one-liner. You ready?
Yeah.
They say some men look in the mirror during sex. I think if you're able to read a newspaper during sex, you're not doing it right.
That's not bad. I found one that might not be bad of good delivery. It goes, Jesus, I'm sick of signing on the dole. I just want to be famous so someone can sign on for me. It's not bad. It's not bad. The structure's there. There's structure there.
Yeah, I like what you've done with that joke. Yeah, no, that is good.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to say against those people.
I had one. Go ahead.
Used to do a joke about Rod, Hull, and Emu. So genuinely, right? I did a gig in the Empire in 2009. And my set list was as follows. These are just the headings. Get ready for this. Rod Hull, Jade Goody, Benjamin Button, John Adair, priests, pedo Christmas, medical research ads, jaywalking, Somalian pirates, and the last bit just says wank. Now, I hope that was a suggestion for material and not a physical bit.
That was a reminder for you after the gig. Don't forget.
The bit about medical research, if I remember, was how in the ads trying to get people sign up for medical trials, it was always like, if you take part in this, you get to help medical research, and the last thing they mentioned was when there's money. I was like, as if anyone is signing up for that, being like, hey, don't worry about that 250 quid. Those people just trying to get rich quick and not worrying about getting a big swollen neck.
Yeah.
I said, right, okay,
I had a thought in one of mine. I go, hey, if they tell you not to drink bleach, why do we use it to clean glasses?
Do you want to trade one bad liner for one? Because I've got one here. A cider firm made 120 people redundant today. They were bad apples.
Yeah. It's all coming back. And look, when you buy tickets to Shane's tour next year, this will be exactly what you're getting.
Oh, I had a really bad joke about the Benjamin Button film that actually, as a joke, does not make sense.
Oh, right.
Cockroaches can live for 9 days with their heads cut off, but still, it can't be that much fun. So here's a joke I've written, but it doesn't sound like I would have come up with this because it sounds like too good of a joke. But if I came up with this, it's a belter of a joke.
Okay.
It's lost all its relevance now anyway. Apparently, police are investigating a murder carried out by Emu, the puppet, in the 80s. They think Rod Hull had a hand in it. Now, that sounds like a joke I'd have heard before.
Yeah, it sounds like Jimmy Carr or something wrote it, or someone else, like a one-liner wrote that joke.
Yeah, it's a good joke though.
Oh yeah, it's pretty solid.
Listen to this for a shit bit of material. I like to play a wee game on an airplane. I get up in the middle of the flight and say, I've got a bomb, but apparently it's not that funny. What is that bit at the
Jesus
end?
Christ.
But see, at the end, like the reason that would never have got a laugh is it's not that funny. But whenever I say apparently it's not that funny, the audience is going to be like, no, we know you've never done that before. So there's no like,
It's
no
not real.
conviction in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Oh.
so much of this is bad. Just looking through all the sets and
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how much like I didn't think I wrote this much, but like I never performed any of this at all.
no, I don't think I did half of this.
But part of me's just tempted to make a set out of it and do it for the crack. I have one line that just goes, I have the physique of the tooth fairy. It's actually not bad. It's in the set.
When men go shopping with their girlfriends, they just gradually transcend into the dog from the Churchill ads, nodding every 5 minutes and saying, "Oh yes."
That's not bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. What were we thinking?
Another one. Do you remember, like, did you practice your material whenever you were?
Yeah, I used to be I can, you're going to make a joke out of this, but I used to be a very anal practicer. Like I used to flip in
You
every,
reward yourself?
oh no, yeah. Someone's going to clip that and have fun with it. But yeah, I used to, it was almost to the extent where it was too crazy. Like I would just sit for like hours, just going over word for word exactly. And I used to have like scripts. I used to like learn. It was very like it was just too much.
Right.
So, but now I think the best thing since coming back is that I don't do anything close to that. Like I have like so sort of similar to you, where like we have like a sheet that have headings on it, and we just sort of know ourselves what the funny bit should be. You know,
It's funny whenever you look back on this and you see how you were trying to be funny, and you're like, it's as if it wasn't you, and you're like, I get the idea of the material, but it's so poorly executed.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you can tell like someone's trying to do an impression of a comedian or trying to write, but it's just yeah.
I wrote Northern Ireland's been voted the sexiest accent in the world. Get your tits out.
What makes that funny is that
Yeah. See, here's the thing. I didn't do the there or write it down, but just me telling you there now, I wanted it to be funnier than the way it was written. Do you know what I
okay,
mean? So it's like,
yeah,
you're always trying to make the material like sound better. Even
yeah,
if
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
getting more of a laugh from you now, I'm willing to be like, oh, there was a cough thing there when there wasn't. I'm trying to be fair
yeah.
to myself. Uh,
Fair.
I remember like, so my sister at the time and still does. My sister's like disabled and goes to a special school, and I remember thinking at the time I should do material about that because it seems like a controversial subject, and I was trying to get like a lot of when I was doing stand up, and I was more interested in the shock value than the funny in it. And I just
Yeah.
remember I can see here I've written down that as a heading, but I never had the material for it.
Right. Yeah. You could just never find a way to.
See what's wrong in British.
Do you remember what sort of material you were doing when you auditioned for Find Me the Funny? Was it just like your regular set you were doing?
I was basically doing a whole like I'm from Hollywood, where Rory McIlroy's from, and the material was like, but I'm famous too, when clearly I'm not. Um, but it was long winded. It was long winded. Oh, I've got my first stand up set script written here.
Wow. You should get that framed.
So here's the worst start to a set ever, right?
Go on.
I think it's only natural to open with a joke. So two Irishmen sit on the ground and one falls off. Now, what annoys me looking back on that is a just general joke.
Mm.
So I've already opened with a joke that isn't mine. As you'll become aware, I go down random alleyways with my comedy. I'm like a black taxi driver fleecing tourists. Now, just for any international listeners in Belfast, black taxi drivers are guys that drive black coloured taxis. Just in case I'm saying there's a couple of black taxi drivers in Belfast and they're thieves. That's 1,000% not what I'm saying. And then I went straight into material about going to Belfast Met. The only educational place with Buckfast and the vending machines. That probably got a laugh.
Mm.
Yeah, even the way this is written, it's written like a best man speech.
Yes, I get
So
what
much,
you're saying.
even though like it's coming from a place of funny. As a comedian, you can look at it and be like, "Oh, you could get rid of so much of that and cut this down." And
Yeah, like I have at least about 20 Word documents here of just pages.
you got anything else that stands out there?
No, not really. I mean, all of it's. I mean, there's some stuff that's just, it's just too. I just couldn't say. I like, yeah. No.
I remember my first joke was the first bit of material I wrote was about how bus drivers wave at each other. So if you're on a bus and then it passes another bus, the bus drivers give each other like a wave. So if I was on an Ulster bus and another blue Ulster bus went past, those drivers were giving each like a very enthusiastic wave. But I noticed that the red bus drivers gave each other like more of like a, not like a Nazi salute, but like a quicker wave. It was more like efficient. And then I started to notice that red bus drivers didn't always wave the blue bus drivers. And I was
Right,
like,
right.
are you always a red bus driver? Or some days do you show up and they say you're driving the blue bus today? And then I had a bit on that. I was like, but the blue bus drivers, to be fair, always do seem to wave, but it's the red bus drivers who had the problem. So I was trying to work out, were they jealous that they weren't driving the blue bus that day? And I think if I was doing it now, I would have the skill to make it a bit. But back then, I only had the initial thought and I didn't know how to tell people this is funny, kind of.
Yeah, quite a lot of it you do just have premises, but then you just don't know how to make them into actual bits or sculpt them. Do you remember, like, when you were younger, like when the moment was where you first had like a funny moment where you went, "Oh, I can make people laugh." Like usually it's in school, but I can remember mine. But I would be keen to hear like what yours would be.
Mine was just always impressions and accents.
Mine
Always.
was an impression too.
Who was your impression?
So I remember being on holiday with my parents and a bunch of the family, and I was probably about 13 at the time, 14, and I think people were talking a lot about Bill Clinton for some reason. So I would just constantly, the whole holiday, like do stuff on the holiday as Bill Clinton. So I'd be like, "Mom, can I have a drink of Coke?" And my mom would think that was a hoot. And so I just kept doing it and amping it up. So I did. And it
Yeah.
was, yeah, that's what I remember when I was first like, "Oh, I can make people laugh."
Do you know, I think just doing stand up and being at this age, you know when to get out of the joke. So even like say,
Yeah.
say me and you were having a coffee and I was making you laugh with something, I wouldn't keep doing it. I would do it and maybe then
Mm,
do it again. And if I noticed your laugh dropping off, then I'd get out of it and talk about something else. But back
yeah.
then, you didn't
Oh,
know when to leave a bit. So you would
yeah.
just stay in it till people get sick of it. And then people didn't like the funny thing you did.
Ah, yeah, it's so true. My parents can't hear that voice anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
like you always made people sick of it. You always did. Impressions. I remember potentially the first time I really felt like I had a reaction from a crowd of people was whenever we went on a trip with school, and it was like an army type thing. There was like a proper army guy there showing you how to do something. And
right?
anyway, he was from Ballymena, and he would like, all right, lads, basically, okay, what we're gonna do, okay, and he kept saying what we're going to do, okay. And he kept saying this over and over. And I remember people already laughing because they knew that once he was out of earshot, I was going to do his voice. And I started to do it when he was away. And I
Oh,
remember, and it was like all different year groups from my school. And it wasn't like there was hundreds of people, it was a couple of dozen. I remember the look of excitement on people's faces that I was able to do this voice. And then someone told one of the other army, like, so these army guys came to whatever our trip was for the day, and they told the other guy, and he came over and he was like, "Do you do an impression of that other fella?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "Do it." And I did it, and he pissed himself. And at the end of the day, the fella who I was doing the impression of came over and went, "This better be good, okay." And I
oh,
went, "Right, okay." and did it, and I absolutely loved it. And I remember being like, and the whole bus home, I would do it and do it and do it. And I remember by the time we got back to school, people fucking hated it. They were like, okay, we get it. But I remember that standing out to me as just a time where I would have like, say we were on holiday, and my like in Spain or whatever, I definitely would have like taken some, and I was like 6 or 7. I would have taken someone's cigarette, like one of the adults' cigarettes, like obviously unlit, and like put on like a bathing costume, like my mum's bathing costume or something, and I would have like
Okay.
I would have come out in high heels, pretending to smoke the cigarette. Like I was physically funny as well. Like I would always do stuff like that, and even when people weren't there, weirdly, you got to
Yeah,
practice the
man.
joke.
Yeah, for sure.
But
it's tough.
like that doesn't go away. That as a kid, that's still now like nothing. Like you ever in a conversation with your mates, especially like funny friends, comedians, or any mates, when you're talking about something and you have like something that's going to make everyone laugh, something just
Oh,
in. There's nothing better than that feeling.
yeah, the feeling of when you're dying to jump in and you're just waiting for the lull, and you're getting all shaky and stuff. You're like, here comes it, and then you say the punchline of the joke, and everyone just loses it. Now, on the other side of that, if you say it and no one laughs, that's the worst.
But a lot of the time, people go. You ever have people who go like, "See my mate, he'd be brilliant at stand up. He's the funniest guy ever in the office and all." It's knowing when to jump in with it, because you get people who are
Yeah.
they just keep going and going and going, and they start to do your head. It's holding it back until the moment where you're like, "What about this for a punchline?" You know.
Yeah, there's that. And then I also sometimes feel like, and you probably do as well, whenever you're just like out having like normal, like human thing, like going to like a friend's birthday party or something, people expect you to be like, oh, there's the crazy cookie, stand up guy. Like, come on over and, do your
Yes.
thing. And you're just like, all you want to do is just like have a drink and chill and just take it easy for once.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, but then I don't, if someone's like, tell us a joke, mate. No, and like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like myself and be like, oh, not, I'll just chat to you, like, but
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
exactly. Don't make it weird.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun going through that old material.
Oh man, yeah. I need to do that again properly and just, yeah.
I mean, genuinely, some of this I'm gonna look back on and go like, is this a bit? Even just part of the thought.
Oh yeah, me too. Because like, there's some stuff where I'm reading going, I never like. There's stuff that you wouldn't think about now because you're just such a different person. I said
Exactly.
now again, compared to what you are today. I fucking hate this podcast. But yeah,
Like the idea of like if you want to call it like an illegal organization or a paramilitary group telling their members like not to be swearing, that's a funny thought. There's
yeah.
something in that I like, and the musicals bit, there could be something in that.
Oh yeah, that was good.
But then sometimes looking back on that, I feel like so much of this is stuff that I have seen a version of, or maybe you just get paranoid about that and you don't want your material to be similar to somebody else's. I don't know. What I do know
Yeah.
is we've got some questions here
Oh boy.
from the listeners. I got a new phone. I don't really know how to use it, even though
What phone did you get?
I got an iPhone. It is literally the phone I had before, but it's
Ah.
just been updated slightly, and that rules me out of being able to understand how to use it. But it's fine. So,
Oh dear. Tell me this while you're getting your questions. Have you a haircut booked in?
why do I get asked this every day?
I'm just curious.
Man, are you trying to say my hair doesn't look sweet?
Dude, look, I've got one booked in too.
I don't, because I don't know when to book it in with the baby jumping and
Yes.
stuff. So I don't know. I'm in this difficult spot where like I also don't mind it at the minute. Like at the minute, I don't have any products in it because I'm about to go to football training, so I'm not going to do my hair.
Oh.
But I might just keep growing. I threw it open to the Instagram poll. It was like, do I cut? Do I keep growing this and see what's possible, or do we get a cut? And the people on Instagram said, hey, grow it. Now that might just be a mug off. I'm not too
Yeah.
sure. They might be playing a sick joke. I don't know, but no, I'm keep. What are you going to get done? Are you going short?
Part of me's tempted to do a little skin fade, like.
Yeah, you should, because you're 15, so do that.
Yeah, no, I'm having that sort of 30-year-old midlife crisis, so I think I'm going to get like a mohawk,
Do it.
and I'm going to get Nike shaved into the back of it.
Do you know I couldn't do that because I have such a weird shaped head?
The arrow wouldn't.
I mean, honestly, if I had it done it, it would look more like the Reebok logo.
Would have been a boomerang. Just do it.
Oh, not good, not good.
Oh dear.
I said to the barber, like, here, the back of my head's a bit big. Would it be okay to get a cut? He's like, no worries. I'm going home to get my strimmer. What? Okay, we got some questions. The best thing about this phone is Face ID because you can
Oh,
unlock it
yep.
by just looking at it. So the only person who can ever unlock this is me, unless Ryan Gosling were to pick it up and look at it, in which case it would unlock.
Yeah, that's right.
Davey Witt says, "Would you rather go topless or bottomless for the rest of your life?" P.S. Underwear is allowed to make it reasonable. Love the pod, by the way. Cheers, Davey. I'll throw that to you first.
See, I'm weighing this up because if you go topless, does that mean you can't get into the likes of shops and bars and restaurants because they're like no shirt, can't get in? You know
Probably.
what? Whilst if you have some boxers on that are maybe a bit longer and look like shorts, they might be like, "Oh, he's just a short guy."
I love your
So
logic there of like you wouldn't be allowed in the bars and shops and restaurants and stuff if you didn't have a shirt, but I'm pretty sure if you had no trousers on, you'd be sweet.
no, you know what I'm saying? Like if you bought some like loose boxers, right? And just
Yeah.
flipping, no, these are long surfer shorts, dude. We'll go a bunga, right? Go into the restaurant. Like I think it's less noticeable. I mean, I'm gonna go no trousers for now.
I would say no shirt for a couple of reasons. Number
Oh,
one,
fuck.
I'm in shape. And
Oh, yeah.
secondly, I would say there's nothing worse than and I've talked about this on my dad on holiday bit of stand up, of sometimes your dad, when he's on holiday, walking down to the pool or the beach, will just have Speedos on and then he'll wear a t shirt, but it looks like if his t shirt's slightly longer, it looks like he's wearing a t shirt with no pants,
Yeah.
which is the worst look of all time when the t-shirt goes slightly over the pants. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd probably go no top. I mean, to be honest, for a lot of lockdown, I just wear like little shorts and that's it. I would kind of
Mm.
spend a lot of time around the house with no shirt on and I like it. And once um I was eating dinner
Your
in
shirt off?
like just a pair of wee shorts on. And I remember
Mm.
whenever I was like 14, 15, I remember my mum's ex-husband saying, "Here, can you put a t-shirt on at the dinner table?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "No, but like we're eating dinner." And I was like, "I know, but like, let me have my shirt off." And then I had to get into full argument. And I was like, "Why am I being persecuted for just having my shirt off? No one's getting hurt here." And I just thought it was insanely sly that somebody would want me to put it. I mean, it's not like they were strangers, you know what I mean? Like I was
Yeah.
also pretty cut back then, you know what I mean? Like I had the
Right.
V, a little bit of a six pack. I didn't have anything up top on chest, but still
No.
I was looking good. So I just thought it was weird. I need to put a shirt on the dinner table, and I'm still kind of a little bit pissed off about that. Um, so
Oh,
yeah, I think I would rather go topless than bottomless.
okay.
Matt says, on a scale of Uno to Diaz, how sly was it when Hernan Cortez destroyed? Fuck, why can I not pronounce Tenochtitlan?
Okay. You all right there?
Dick move by the big man, in my opinion. Yes, Matt. So we're talking about the Spanish inquest of Mexico. Aaron, I don't know how much. Tenochtitlan, is that what it's called? Shit, I can't pronounce the name of the city. But yeah, Aaron, just to bring you up to speed on this one, I don't know how much of the Spanish invasion in Mexico, but essentially the Spanish came over. This guy called Cortez, and what happened was the King of Spain said, "Will you go over to what is now modern day Mexico and just see what the crack is?" I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't frame it like that. And
Right.
Cortez is like, "No bother." And then people started telling the king Cortez is secretly really sly, and when he goes over there, he's going to just make this all about him. And I wouldn't let him go if I were you. And the king went, "Right, go and tell someone else to take his place." And then Cortez's brother heard about this and he killed the guy on his way to tell a different guy. And then basically the king and some of his men were like walking down to the dock. This is in the 1500s, like
Mm.
1520. Um, the king goes down to the docks and he's like, let's tell Cortez he needs to stay or we'll kill him. And then by the time the king got down, Cortez was sailing away, and the king had a conversation with Cortez as Cortez and like 500 Spaniards were leaving the dock. And the king's like, Cortez, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I told you not to be going. And Cortez is like, aye, mate, but sure, we're fucking heading away here. And Cortez just went. And Cortez, I mean, a lot of people saying I should present a show on the History Channel, but Cortez and just a couple of hundred Spaniards went over to modern day Mexico, and can I be honest, just started fucking murdering everybody and trying to take over the whole place. And eventually, spoiler alert, they did.
Oh right, well there you go. Then I thought I was kind of a fan of this guy until you told me about all the murders he did, and now I'm.
Well, also everyone kept trying to kill Cortez. Like, he got wounded in battle so much, but the big man just kept being like, "Oh no, that guys, don't worry about it. It's sweet."
Yeah, it takes some nerve, fan.
It's but Matt, yeah, it's a very interesting story, and Cortez, very very sly, because also they had ancient gods, the Tenochtitlan, fuck, I can't pronounce it. The indigenous people had their old gods, and they had these temples, and then the Spaniards came in and were like, nah, you guys have got to get right behind my man God. You know, they were like, we support the old gods, and he's like, yeah, but you need this, just the OG, the original God himself. And they wrecked a load of statues and you know, straight up killed people. So yeah,
There we go.
I think it's fair to say he's pretty sly. Is there any history that interests you, like, being serious? Because I don't think you're a guy for history at all.
No, not really. I'm trying to think. I'm more like, I love although I'm not one and I don't claim to be one, I do enjoy hearing conspiracy theories.
Yeah. See, I don't, because even the absurd ones, I hear them and I'm like, dead on, dickhead. But part of me in the back of my head goes, but that is true.
No,
you know, like, it takes 3 seconds. That's why I'm not a conspiracy theorist, because I'm skeptical. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, because as soon as I hear one, I go, fuck, is that right, mate? You know, I'm into it. I go like, okay, fair. That's my new opinion on it. So I can't do it. Also, one thing I will say about conspiracy theorists, show me a good looking one.
Look, yeah, for sure. I like the conspiracies on like JFK and the moon landings and all that sort of stuff. But obviously, I don't believe any of it. I just think it's interesting how people.
Is the conspiracy in JFK that he was killed by the FBI or by the mafia? There's a couple.
Not too. Yeah, there's a couple, and then
the FBI.
The big one is the multiple shooters thing, and that where the bullet came from, and the impact on his head and all that sort of thing. There's there's a lot of, like, you know what it's like with conspiracies. There's not just one of them. There is 5 trillion of them.
Yeah. Our final question is from One Flying Irishman, who says, this one's for you. He says, can Aaron please say how now, brown cow?
Oh, fuck.
The floor is yours.
Hi, now, brown cow. Nah. I know I'm saying nah, right? No, don't stop you laughing, right?
Hi, now, brown cow.
Yeah, I did the cow bit as a joke. Okay, guys, right? It's comedy. Hi, now, brown cow. Suck it. Fuck's sake.
Do you know what that seemed like whenever you said how now, brown cow, suck it? You look like a gamer because you got the chair and the headset on, and you look like you're dissing a gamer called how now, brown cow. Hey, how now, brown cow, suck it.
Yeah, I can't wait to fucking take up elocution lessons after this podcast.
You should, because even the word elocution you can't say. Said elocution. Said elocution. I think she was in X Factor 2015.
No, right. This isn't funny, right?
I need to take elocution lessons. Hey man, let's start with elocution.
What did I say? Cushion?
You said elocution.
Right. Stand back. I need them, whatever it is. I don't know what the lessons are, but give me them.
Oh man, that really, really, really tickled me, and that's for sure going to be a podcast clip.
You're welcome. There you go. Enjoy the new baby.
Very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. Any day now. Listen, man, gotta thank you 100%. You're a great
Yeah.
guy. You got your
Oh
Spider-Man
yeah.
t-shirt on. You're having a good time. People want to see your videos, especially your priest with the
Baptism.
Shoker video, which was fantastic.
Thank you.
Aaron's videos. Aaron's
Yep.
videos.
Aaron Butler. Aaron Butler online. Aaron Butler online.
Aaron Butler online. He's rebranded. He's
Yep.
rebranded.
All fresh.
So check that out. You have some great videos up there,
Thank
and
you.
yeah, people like you, and I like you, and I think you're a
Thanks.
cool guy. So
Thanks. I
I'll
liked
let you
the
leave it
people and
there,
you too.
brother. Okay.
Yep. A pleasure as always.
Wrap this one up. Okay. Thank you, brother. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.